What is up, guys? It is the Blue Bloods here coming at y'all with another 2-minute drill episode to start y'all's week off. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I mean, I can't even get into how much support we've had in the past, few weeks, months as we started, like mostly moving our stuff to YouTube, starting the 2-minute drill on YouTube, moving a lot of our content to YouTube. Man, we are already way over 300 subscribers. When I did that first 100 subscriber giveaway, never thought we'd even have anything to give away. Now we got some merch to give away. 200 and 300 winners have already been picked, contacted. We're on the move to kind of get that merch moving out to y'all, man. So I'll be in contact soon to let y'all know when y'all stuff goes out. And as always, man, big thumbs up on the video, hit the post notification bell, and subscribe if you're here, man. Join the Blue Bloods family. It is just me here tonight, man. B-Dub had to go out of town for a wedding, so he'll be back later this week. But right now, it's just your boy. And of course, man, we got to kick off the week right. I always like to stay in the drama. We had a little bit of drama here this week. As it was reported by ESPN, Heather Dinich on over the weekend, Larry Scott, former Pac-12 commissioner, we've talked about him on the podcast before, how he did a terrible job as the Pac-12 commissioner, which is why he was kind of forced to step down at the end of the year. They're moving in the new direction, got a new commissioner out west that has a lot of big plans for the Pac-12. But Larry Scott had a statement that said that the Pac-12 supports the expansion of the college football playoff and believes that the Power 5 champions should automatically qualify for the college football playoff. Well, that got AAC Commissioner Mike Aresco kind of pissed, to say the least. He told Heather from ESPN that guaranteeing a Power 5 champion an automatic bid in this new proposed 12-team playoff would be, quote, an enormous step in the wrong direction, and that he didn't sense any traction for it, and that he said, quote, the top 6 conferences without favor, which means the Power 5 gets no benefits over the rest of the country, is merit-based, it's fair, and it doesn't reward privilege for privilege's sake. I love this. I love this. I love the statement. And, the AAC has been very, very vocal that they're a Power 6 conference, which I wholeheartedly agree with. And we're going to get into why as, we get through this episode. But, his other quote here was very interesting. He said, quote, the most desirable outcome in our view is for this to be where you have to earn it. You don't just get in based on namesake. You don't get in based on what conference you play for, your history. You get in based on your play on the field. Did you earn it? Or, are you just going on name recognition? Are you using the success of your peers to get where you are? And he said that was the smartest thing about the top 6. So what he's talking about is in this new proposed 12 model, the top 6 conference champions are in. So if that's 3 Power 5 and 3 Group of 5, then they're in. If that's 5 Power 5 and 1 Group of 5, they're in. Whatever it may be, it's the top 6 in terms of the college football ranking. And so I agree. So my original model that I proposed a while ago did have the Power 5 champions in there, but my model also included 2 automatic bids to the Group of 5. I think the Group of 5 should always have at least 2 teams in there, in my opinion. But I know that I am not in a position to, influence anything. And I know a lot of people disagree with me there because they don't think that, they don't think the Group of 5 has any business in the playoffs. But say what you want. But this all really stems as Larry Scott saying the Pac-12 deserves an automatic bid, while AAC saying no. If you can't be a top 6 conference champion, then why do you deserve a shot? And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And that's kind of where I want to take this episode. 2 is, and I want y'all to comment below right now, man, as y'all's watching this video, should Power 5 champions automatically qualify for the college football playoff? I personally would say no now. I mean, my opinion has kind of changed as I've had more information kind of come out on it, and as I've kind of educated myself more on the topic. I think no. I really do like the top 6 champions, because if you can't be a top 6 conference champion, then why do you deserve to be in it? Like, because I mean, usually the top 6 champion, as long as you're in like the top 15, usually you're probably qualifying. Some years it's even as low as like 18 to 20 range. If you're not a top 18 to 20 team in the country, then why do you think you deserve a shot at the national title? I mean, that's an honest question. I mean, if you have a real answer to that, comment below and let me know. But really and truly, if you win your conference, let's say you win your conference, but you're 7-5, you're 8-4, 9-3. Do you deserve a shot at the title? Oh, over an 11-1 Cincinnati, over 12-0 UCF, over 10-2 Boise State. I'm not willing to say that, and that's kind of where I want to go. And I mean, I guess Larry Scott's worry is that the Pac-12 is going to be left out more than not. But I wanted to bring back up our projected college football playoff, how this model would apply from 2016 to last year. That was posted by The Athletic. So let me pull that up right here. We're gonna go through these again. But there we go. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So we got it pulled up here. And move this banner. But so he's worried that the Pac-12 is going to be left out. But in this model, you see that the Pac-12 gets a bye this year, because Washington was ranked, top 5 this year. So they get a bye. Plus USC sneaks in. Plus Colorado gets the 10 seed from the Pac-12. And the AAC is left out here. It is. There's no AAC team. The Group of 5 bid went to Western Michigan as that 12 seed. But, I mean, Larry Scott is saying, like, oh, this is stupid, we should get an automatic bid. Well, I mean, you're going to get an automatic bid if you're putting a quality team in a position to make the playoffs. Washington was in a position to make a run. So they were the 3rd seed. And then you also had USC qualify for one of those large bids, because this is one of the years. And you also had Colorado, because this is one of these years where you put a bunch of good teams on the field. And what I'm worried about happening is that if you go ahead and give some of these conferences automatic bids, it doesn't put any pressure. It doesn't create this environment where conferences want to put the best teams on the field, because you can have an upset in the conference championship game, and you have a crappy, non-deserving team take a shot away from one of these other schools. And so what I think this model does, the six highest ranked conference champions, no automatic bids to any conference. What it does is promotes competitive play, promotes scheduling good opponents, promotes playing a tough schedule so you can get highly ranked, and just making sure that your conference stays competitive. Because you can have one team dominating your conference, but if their strength of schedule suffers and you don't have anyone pushing them to be better, you're not going to make the playoffs. So I think that's a really good thing in terms of this model. Let's go to 17 here. The Pac-12 gets USC in there, and they get Washington in there. So they get the 8 and the 11 seed. That's great. UCF gets in there because they were a conference champion. That's so. I don't understand what the Pac-12. So this is 2 straight years in a row where you got 3 and 2 teams into the playoffs, and they both. Well, USC will host. Washington was gonna is a high seed, but USC hosted a game in the 2016 model. This year, USC hosts another game, and Washington gets to travel to an amazing environment in Camp Randall and have a great game. So I don't understand exactly what Larry Scott is trying to argue here. Then let's move to 18. You get Washington again, in the playoffs. There you go. Your top team makes the playoffs again. They get to play the AAC champion UCF down in Orlando. What is the worry here? This is 3 straight years to Pac-12. The Pac-12 puts a team in the playoffs in the proposed model. So it's not like you're being left out. And then 2019. Let's go to this one. They also get 2 teams in there. You get a rematch of your conference championship game in Oregon versus Utah, the 6 and 11 matchup, except this one's in Autzen Stadium. And then the AAC sneaks Memphis into the 12 seed. There's nothing wrong with the proposed model. I mean, there are things wrong. You can go check out our episode where they propose this to kind of hear that. But, there's nothing wrong with how these teams qualify. It's allowing these smaller programs to compete for something bigger. So why does the Pac-12 need an automatic bid when 4 out of the 5 years since 2016 to 2020 they got a team in? Because I get it, this year they didn't get a team in, so that's the concern of Larry Scott. But look, can I ask you guys something? I want you guys to be honest with me. I mean, hey, we're all part of the Bluebloods here. How many of y'all would have felt confident betting $100 that the Pac-12 champion Oregon Ducks could beat Cincinnati last year? I'm waiting. Go ahead, comment below. If you're watching, as this is premiering on YouTube, comment there. How many of y'all would have been comfortable putting some money on that? I wouldn't have. I absolutely wouldn't have bet a single penny on that. There's no way. I mean, especially because Cincinnati probably would have hosted that game. They're not going over there to win it. And I think Cincinnati might even win in Autzen. How many of y'all would have been comfortable betting $100 that USC could beat Cincinnati last year? That's the same team that should have lost to Arizona State and probably should have lost to Arizona. How good was Arizona last year, guys? There's a reason they got a new head coach in Jed Fish this year. So, I mean, and really and truly, how many of y'all would have been super confident that Coastal couldn't have gave USC or Oregon a good game last year? I don't think any of y'all are willing to put that money up for that game. No doubt, surefire. So that's my concern. So let me bring me up here as we wrap this episode up. My thing is if your conference isn't good enough, which the Pac-12 really wasn't that good this year, isn't good enough to have their conference champion rank above the Mountain West, the AAC, the Sun Belt, any of those conference champions, why should the Pac-12 get in over them? And I don't want to just pick on the Pac-12. I'm picking on the Pac-12 because of Larry Scott. Big 12 at times. The Big 10. ACC, whatever, SEC, whatever conference. If your conference champion isn't good enough to rank in the top 15, top 10, do they deserve a shot at the title? I don't know. I mean, if you're not one of the 6 best conference champions, why do you deserve a shot at the national title? I mean, when I look at these conferences, and let's just look at the last few years. Let's just take the top 3 teams. Has Oregon, Utah, and USC been consistently better in the past few years than UCF, Cincinnati, and Memphis? I don't think there's a clear-cut divide. I don't think it's leaps and bounds better. Yeah, you can make the argument Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. I got you. But are you those 3 versus those 3? Are you sure it's 3-0 Pac-12 in that matchup? Let's take like the college basketball matchups where it's like the SEC versus the Big Ten. Pac-12 versus AAC. The last 5 years. Which conference has really been better top to bottom? Tulsa's been pretty damn good. UCF's been good. Cincinnati's been good. Memphis has been good. I just want to know. I mean, how confident? And Navy's had really, really good years. There's SMU's been really good. And I get it. Utah, Arizona State's been on the come up until recently. We know why they've been on the come up. But USC, Oregon, Washington, I get it. Like, they're very similar conferences, but are we sure there's such a clear-cut divide between the Group of 5 and Power 5 as we'd like to believe? What about the ACC? I'm not sure that it's the super deep outside of Clemson. How many of y'all are confident in the ACC outside of Clemson, outside of maybe Miami last year? I don't think a lot of y'all are. And so I think right now, I would say, in answer to my own question, I would say Power Five champions should not get an automatic bid into the college football playoffs. I like this top six conference champs. I think it gives the group of five a lot to play for. I think it makes all the conferences, including the Power Five, want to keep their conference competitive. I think it keeps them from, it's going to make them put a lot of pressure on teams that are underperforming, and it's going to do interesting things in terms of uh, like conference realignment and stuff. So if you have a team that's performing terrible, like a Kansas, how long before the Big 12? I mean, well, of course, let's just take basketball out of it and other sports, but how long before the Big 12 is like, man, we need to go get one of these good group of five teams. We need to do this or that or realign ourselves. I think it'll do a lot of interesting things for the future of college football. So comment down below what your opinion is. Should Power Five champions receive an automatic bid into the college football playoff? I say no right now. If information comes out that I can absorb and changes my mind, makes a good argument, maybe. But right now, I think I like the there's stuff in the model I don't love, but this is one of the things I really like. The six highest ranked conference champions should make the playoffs, in my opinion. So I really, really like this. Guys, comment below and let me know your opinion. Love to hear all the interaction and see all the interaction. Huge interaction on the Arizona State video, man. Shout out to y'all for that. We appreciate all the support, man. As always, make sure to subscribe now into our 500 subscriber giveaway. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, man. Hit that post notification bell so y'all can keep up with all things Blue Bloods. Make sure while you're here, go check out our SEC in 30 days. Palmer Tom stops by, talks all things Georgia Bulldogs. Check out that video next, or go back, catch up on old 2-minute drills, old conferences. So whatever conference you root for, we probably have your school's interview up there. So make sure to check that out now. But for your boy Zach, the 2-minute drill, and the Blue Bloods, I am out.